Hi everyone.
Hello.
We haven't done anything for ages. We've just come away for the weekend in the van, obviously, and we just thought we'd share it with you. And so far,
And some of our stories from travelling
do you want to do
to
that?
France and Spain.
Yeah. The Camino.
No, the holiday that we had 5 weeks in Spain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not the Camino. That was last year, wasn't it?
That was last year.
Silly me. Yeah. We'll start off with the story on what we did. We went travelling through France and Spain in the van.
First time abroad.
Yeah, for 5 weeks. And it started off, obviously, we set off from home and we went to Dover. Yeah. We finished work on the Friday and we set off on the Friday night. Now, there's a reason that we haven't posted that. We was planning on posting it. And to start off with, we set off to Dover, and about 10 minutes before we got to Dover, the warning light came on the van. And then we had to make the decision, or I made the decision of, do we turn around and go home, or do we risk it? Because we're in green flag anyway, so that wouldn't have been a problem as such. So we decided to risk it. We'd planned this, we'd booked the ferries and everything. So we got on the ferry, travelled through France. As it was, the coincidence was we pulled up at one air in France and there was a camper van at the where we pulled up. And the coincidence was it was on Spanish plates, so I thought they were Spanish. And they weren't, there was actually English. They lived in Spain and they were coming through France to come to England to see the family. And he was a mechanic. He had a look at the van and he put a diagnostics thing on it. And he said, is it smoking? I said, no. I said, it's climbing the hills fine, which it did. We went over the Pyrenees and the van was a dream, but it still had these 2 warning lights on. Check injections and emissions. So he cleared it and he said, just carry on. And as it was, we never had a problem. We went over the Pyrenees. Brilliant, wasn't it? Got through to Spain. We stayed in a place called San Jordi because we used to have a caravan there.
Which is northern.
Yeah, which is northern Spain on the east coast. And we met up with my daughter because we'd given her our caravan that we used to have in Spain. So we met up with her and we stayed with her for 10 days.
Yeah.
Had a brilliant time, didn't we?
Yeah, which was lovely. Big shout out to Jude and Teresa for cooking such gorgeous, gorgeous food.
Yeah. Jude and Teresa, they was running the bar in the campsite, Mastrat, they call it. And they was doing a brilliant job. And we got on real well with them too.
It was ace.
And there was ace, but they've finished now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've left there now.
They've left there
to go travelling in their van.
And while was it there where we had the problem with the card? Or, no, it was after we left there, wasn't it? We left there and we started travelling down the coast in Spain when we both had post office cards where you load your money on in England and you just spend it like a Visa card or a debit card. And yours was playing up.
Mine was playing up from day one. So
we then had to transfer the money on Stacey's card over to my card, and that was fine for a couple of days.
Yeah. And
then that was playing up. So we told post office we never had no money, but we still had to wait 5 days before they could transfer it into our bank account.
And we booked onto one of the site at that point, weren't we?
Yeah.
Campsite.
We'd booked on, I can't remember where it was, can you?
No, I can't remember now.
Anyway, we'd done a few wild camp ups and we'd gone on a few more airs, but we started using our bank card, what we use from home. And to be fair, we found that that's the best way. It probably cost us 30 quid in exchange rates, but it was peace of mind. And we went from Benicarlo, we travelled down, we went to Benicazim.
Went to Benicazim, Alcazebra's gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a wild camp at Alcazebra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just pulled up. It was getting on late because we were looking for somewhere to park up, and we saw this camper van just in the middle of nowhere on the side of a beach. And we pulled up. It was absolutely gorgeous. Got up early in the morning. I opened the back doors, didn't I? So Stacey could watch the sunrise from bed. She didn't even have to get out of bed for that. At Benicazim, we stayed in a car park. You didn't like it there, though, did you?
No.
But we went into the town centre. There was nothing on the front.
It was buzzing, wasn't it, the town centre?
The town centre was absolutely heaving. Street after street, there was thousands of people all sat out eating outside the restaurants and that. They closed the roads off and everything. So that was different, wasn't
it?
Yeah. But then we was heading for Benidorm. When we got to Benidorm.
Oh no, we went to Calpe first before then. Went to Calpe. Is it Calpe?
Oh yeah, Calpe.
We stayed at an air in Calpe.
Yeah.
Which was gorgeous.
That was nice.
Calpe Rock.
Yeah.
Literally from the air where we're staying.
And we was talking to some English people there, and they were suggesting that they was living there for 3 months, and they were suggesting, oh, don't go to this one at Finistrat outside Benidorm. Anyway, we took the risk. It was absolutely gorgeous. Campalave, they call it. In Finistrat.
It had a pool.
Swimming pool, barbecue area.
Shaded area with seats and everything. It was
toilets and showers.
Couldn't do enough for you.
Spotless. And there was spotless, wasn't there?
I would highly recommend Campalave.
Highly recommend that. And it was something like €20, €18 a night, wasn't it?
€18 a night.
Yeah. It's spotless. And the toilets, it was as good as what you'd get in some nice hotels.
Yeah.
So... but what we used to do was we left the camper van there and we'd travel into Benidorm by bus. And
it was so cheap, and it was the buses run so regular in Spain, so cheap. But it was something like
€1.50, wasn't it?
€1.50 each.
Yeah, next to
and it was quite a fair distance from there to main Benidorm strip. So it was good value for money.
Yeah. And one night we decided we'd have a late night out, and was in a couple of the bars and that.
Not to see Sticky Vicky.
Yeah.
Sticky Vicky's daughter. Anyway.
Yeah. And then we went to a karaoke bar, and that was evening.
Black Chicken, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Black Chicken.
It was a good night.
It was a good night.
Because we like karaoke.
Anyway, we come back home, and we got out the taxi, didn't we? And you said, oh, you couldn't find your phone. And she had like a shoulder bag on, zipped up.
Close to my body.
And she couldn't find her phone. So I went to look for my phone, and I couldn't find my phone. And I had like one of these man bag things. I always wear them on holiday anyway. And my phone had gone as well, so we'd lost both our phones. We couldn't get in touch with no one. We couldn't get access to the bank or anything, could we?
Nothing.
We couldn't get access to... We have Tesco Mobile, and we couldn't get access to Tesco Mobile. So we ended up having to buy another phone just so we could get the Google Maps.
We needed it for the sat-nav, to get back home with us travelling in the van.
Yeah.
So we had to go back through to Benidorm to buy what we thought was a cheaper phone.
I think we paid about €140 for it.
Then the SIM card as well, that was like another €40, wasn't it?
But we had to do that because we needed Google Maps to find out
because otherwise
to find our way back home.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
We'd have still been driving around Spain now like loons.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like I say, we couldn't get in touch with anyone or anything through Facebook.
We had to find an English person, didn't we, on the site, so we could borrow his phone to get the details of all the numbers and of Tesco, so we could contact them to block the phone and everything, the numbers. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass, really, but these things happen. So
we got through it.
So take backup. A spare phone, or write your numbers down, or take a backup, as in an iPad.
Or don't let nobody
or a
nick your
tablet.
phones.
Yeah, or don't let no one nick your phones. Easy said than done when we didn't even feel them and they was in our bags at the front of our body. But yeah, so always take backup phones and numbers and stuff.
We didn't let it ruin the holiday, did we?
No, lesson to be learned, really.
Lesson to be learned. Anyway, coming back, we came back up the east coast.
This is the better story.
Of Spain. Got into France. Stayed in France a few days, about a week, wasn't it? Stayed in France about a week.
Yeah.
Found a lovely site, stayed there, and then we're travelling back. We're coming towards Calais, but we wasn't catching the ferry that night. We wanted to get it. The ferry
the day after, weren't we?
Well, it was early in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we pulled up at this service station.
Just to have a coffee, wasn't it?
Yeah,
coffee.
Just outside Calais. And as we got back in the van,
bearing in mind on the night time as well, it was thundering and lightning, so it was pretty noisy outside anyway.
We heard a bang. As we got in the van, we heard a bang. I said, what was that? I said, was it the back door? We went, nah, it can't have been. When I put the key in the ignition...
And drove off.
No, before I drove off, it said door open, boot open, meaning the back door. So we went out, checked all through the back, looked under the bed.
Stacey went out, because I was the brave one.
There was nothing there. Obviously nothing on top of the bed. And I think somebody had tried to get in. I said to you, didn't I? I think somebody's tried to get in, but they've realised there's no room. Yeah, because the door was slightly ajar, wasn't it?
Yeah, and was bringing a big parcel on for somebody, wasn't we?
Yeah, so there was no room.
No room underneath.
So we thought, oh, well, we was going to Dunkirk. We wanted to see some of the war graves. So we went to Dunkirk, looked at the war graves. That was about an hour away. Stayed there about an hour, didn't we?
Mm.
And then went an hour back. And then we'll come home. I sat in the front, didn't I?
I think by the time we got back, it must have been about 8-ish.
Yeah, it was about 4 o'clock when we heard the bang of the door, wasn't it? Something like that. Got back. I was sat in the front. You were sat in the back. You was cooking tea, weren't you? We had tea. I went outside
to have a walk around
a walk around, and I was yakking to people and things like that. Then we come back. It was about 10 o'clock now, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, because you said, do you think we ought to get an early night? Because we've got an early start with the ferries and what have you. So I started getting the clothes all out.
Yeah. You were just going to get undressed for the bed, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I started getting all the clothes out because we've got a cupboard above the bed, at the end of the bed. And I put the clothes down on the bed. And then I realised it was quite warm within the area, and I thought, oh, why is it warm there? And then I looked down at the sheet and realised that it was in the shape of a body.
Yeah, but we thought it was the duvet, didn't we? And you whispered to me.
Well, we did previous to that, yeah. We just didn't think nothing of it.
And Stacey whispered as quiet as this. You might not even be able to pick this up. She actually went, Ali, there's somebody under the covers. Well, I looked, and then we remembered we'd taken the duvet off and just left the duvet cover there. So it was as thin as a sheet, really, but it was raised. And there was a body underneath. There was somebody in our bed.
So I quickly went and unlocked the doors.
I shouted at him, didn't I?
Yeah, pulled the sheet off and shouted at him, didn't you?
And I shouted at him, get out of this van. And I shouted loud so other people on the air could hear us.
Because there was a lot of other vans on that air. So we was kind of safe because there was a lot of other people on there. But we didn't want him to get out of our van to then
try and get in somebody else's
van. But, so as he got out, he kept saying, with his hands in his prayers, I'm sorry. And
he actually reached for his bag, didn't he? And I thought he was going to get some out of his bag. So I moved myself in close to him.
Because he could have had a weapon for all we know.
Anyway, I marched him out the side.
Off the premises, didn't you?
But having said that, Stacey had been in the van on her own several times, and there's this guy laid under the covers, and we didn't even know that he was there. We'd travelled all the way from the service station to Dunkirk and back. He'd been under them covers for about 6 hours. Well, the bedding was wet with his sweat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we just straight away, we dumped all. It was all brand new bedding. We dumped it all. And we just rolled it all up into the duvet, the sheets. And as it is, the mattresses that we've got, they've got like a plastic cover on them because of what you have in they have them in static caravans, and we'd never ever took that plastic cover off. So we disinfected all that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we had to sleep the night. But what he's thought is, when he's seen us pull up at the service station, they're going to the ferry. They won't be sleeping in the bed, because obviously you can't sleep in your bed on the ferry. And we won't. We're going to Dunkirk, coming back, staying the night in Calais and getting the ferry early in the morning. So that's another tip. Check your beds. Keep your back doors locked.
Keep your doors locked, and just be observant when you're at service stations.
So that's why.
Because we always thought that we'd be the ones, we'd never get caught out.
No.
And we did.
And then as it was, when we was getting on the ferry, we thought, we best tell customs. They weren't even interested.
They checked everyone else's car boat.
They didn't check our van. They waved us through.
Happened, and they didn't want to know, did they?
No, the French police didn't want to know. And then when told the English customs, they just went, you should have told the French police that. Go on, carry on.
Basically, don't give a toot.
So just be careful. Make sure, that's all we'd say. Just make sure that your doors are locked. So and
be careful with your bags when you're in Benidorm, because a friend of mine as well, last week, she was there on holiday and she got mugged in Benidorm. So but just be really, really careful and vigilant of people.
We'd still go back.
Surrounding areas.
We'd just be more careful, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we haven't had to, because all the stuff that was filming, a lot of it we'd filmed on the phone. We've probably got a few videos which we might pop up some other time, which we've done on the GoPro. But we just thought we haven't put nothing on for a while, so we'd stick something on. So this weekend we've been to
Bensall
in the Yorkshire Dales.
Bolton Abbey.
We've been to Bolton Abbey, and then we went to Saltburn by the sea, but to be honest, we don't rate it. We was going to stay there, weren't we?
You can get around it in 20 minutes, can't you?
Yeah, but we've come to our favourite place. This is
Sands
the second night, because we set off on Friday. So we did Friday night in Bensall, and then we're at Sands End. So we'll post a few pictures up and a couple of videos. It's not a lot, but we just thought we'll start doing a couple of videos again. More for us. It's nice to look back, the memories, isn't it? But if people want to watch them, that's fine. You can watch them. If you want to pass a comment, leave a comment.
Yeah. So now we refer to the illegal immigrant as Gary, don't we? When we're telling the story to our friends and family and stuff,
we call him Gary.
We call him Gary. If you've seen Only Fools and Horses, then you'll understand.
Yeah.
Gary.
So we hope you enjoy looking at the pictures. There's not a lot for this weekend.
Some nice ones there.
And there's a couple of videos as well. So it's nice catching you up with you all. Please put a like, a thumbs up.
And subscribe.
Yeah, and subscribe. Okay, we'll catch you later. Thanks a lot.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, can you believe she's walked the Camino de Santiago?
Yes, the Camino. Did you know?
No, I didn't know.